Hey, it's Aaron. Today I want to talk about the 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander. The Outlander is Mitsubishi's largest vehicle in North America. It is a three-row SUV, but it is still considered a compact, although I would call it small. It's a little bit larger than what you would think of as a compact. But it's one of the few in this category, in this size, that does have that third row. The third row is small. It's not really for adults. It's mostly for kids, but it does expand seating to 7, and that can be a game changer for a lot of people, especially if you don't want the giant SUV that usually goes with that. You really just want something small, kind of urban, or just better fuel economy. So the Outlander is very much based on the Nissan Rogue. They share a whole lot in common. So it is worth cross-shopping. But as far as I remember, you cannot get the Rogue with a third row. You still can get that with the Outlander. The Outlander also has a better warranty. Mitsubishi warrants the powertrain for 10 years, and it's a top safety pick plus from the IIHS. So if safety is important to you, that's a big deal. There's 4 trim levels for the Outlander, the ES, the SE, the SEL, and the Platinum Edition. Pricing will start at about $31,000 and change, plus delivery fees. Most people buying this are probably going to be more towards the $40,000 mark. People don't buy base models. That's just a thing. I would recommend the SE at best, which is the next level up from base, and it's about 34. But the SEL has a whole lot of great equipment in it, and it's about 38.5. All of these will come with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine. That engine produces 181 horsepower and a like amount of torque. Front-wheel drive is standard, but I would very much recommend going to the all-wheel drive system, because the super all-wheel control that Mitsubishi has is, in my opinion, the best all-wheel drive, all-weather system on the market. I have tested a lot of these vehicles, and this one just never gets squirrely in the bad weather. It's very, very good. It works with a bunch of technologies kind of going together. It's part mechanical, part electronic, and uses the braking system for the rest. So it's a very well done melded system. The Outlander comes with a lot of really good equipment. So at the base level, it has 18-inch alloy wheels, LED headlights, push-button start, stuff like that. The 12.3-inch infotainment screen is standard across the board in this. It's a beautiful setup, very similar to Nissan's system. In fact, it's almost identical. So if you're familiar with that, that's what they're using. Works very, very well. Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto are included. So works really well and is a nice overall system. Also, the seating is very comfortable in this, especially in the front row, but also in the second row. Those outbound seats are zero gravity, just like the front seats. So I call it zero gravity. Mitsubishi does not. That's a Nissan term, but same seating. It's a same feel, and it's a very, very nice interior. So in the past, the Outlander had a low price point and got away with that by having a cheap feeling interior. Lots of crappy plastic, lots of just no bling whatsoever, and it just was not pretty. And it was usually very loud, very little sound deadening. That's all changed. Wonderful interior. Looks really good, especially considering how much you're spending. It's not that much money. To spend less than $40,000 for an SUV is pretty amazing already. But you're getting a very, very nice interior for that. Also, the sound deadening, it's not perfect, but it's good. So where they kind of made the kind of the cuts to make that price point is the stereo system, which is okay. It sounds okay, but there just aren't enough speakers with enough range to really make it sound good. But it's not terrible. It's just okay. Other than that, Because it's so small, if you have the third row deployed, you will not have much cargo room back there. It's very tiny once you do that. But most of the time when you're driving this, the assumption is that third row is folded down. That's just for when you really need it. Otherwise, you won't be using it. Or you only use one half and not the other. That sort of thing. Now, I will say, if you go up from the lower trim levels, you do get into a 12-speaker audio system. And Mitsubishi is the only one on the market that I know of that's using a Yamaha system, which means that it's pretty easy to find off-the-shelf parts to boost that system if that's what you want to do. As far as the ride quality and drive dynamics, the Outlander is actually really good. It feels really solid on the road. A lot of that is the all-wheel drive. So if you don't opt for that, you probably won't get the same drive appeal to it. Acceleration is, it's going to struggle to get on the freeway or, get up to speed to get on the freeway, to pass somebody at high speeds, that sort of thing. Around town, it's fine. In the previous Mitsubishi Outlander, you could just put it into sport mode and up the RPMs and it would work, and then you could get around those things. You can't do that in this version because it's using Nissan's transmission and shifter, and they do not have like a sport mode where you just yank the handle over and it does it. So you're going to have to mash your foot and call it good. But it's not terrible. You will get up to speed. You will be able to make the pass most likely, but you're not going to feel like Mario Andretti while you do it. Not even close. Fuel economy, though, that's where all of that pays off. So having those things with the CVT and everything else, all of that pays forward into fuel economy. So the EPA rates this at 26 mpg combined, with 30 as the highway number. I was able to beat that highway number despite this not having turbocharging. And I say that because I'm at very high altitude. I'm driving around at 6,000 plus feet. So normally a naturally aspirated engine chokes a little bit at that, and I expect to lose about a mile per gallon on the highway. With this, I did not. I actually beat the 30 by about half a mile a gallon. So that's not bad. That means most people should be able to make these fuel economy numbers in this vehicle. Now, the combined rating, a lot of people complain that they never see that. That's because of the way the EPA requires the rating to be calculated. It's not really that real world. Most of us don't drive with the kind of highway mix the EPA is expecting. That's why the number is usually a little bit bigger than most people think most people are actually getting. So for that 26 mpg in this, most people will probably be in the 24 to 25 range. That's the realistic number for it. Every vehicle on the road is like that. This is not a knock against just Mitsubishi. Every vehicle, because of the EPA's requirements, every vehicle is measured this way. Really, though, the selling point for the Outlander there's really three selling points that I see. The first one is the looks. This is a really good-looking vehicle, especially when compared to a lot of its contemporaries right now. It's just a nice-looking it's not overdone, it's not underdone, it doesn't have any weird qualities like a pointy front end or something like that. It's really good looking. It is pretty similar to the Nissan Rogue, but a little, in my opinion, a little nicer. Similar to the way, like when you look at a Chevrolet versus a GMC model, the GMC model just always looks slightly better. That's just the way it's by design there, but in this case, that's kind of the visual that I have. The second selling point is price. This is a sub $35,000 SUV. There aren't a whole lot of those left on the market that are big enough to actually haul around 5 people, let alone 7. So very, very nice there. That's always been a selling point for Mitsubishi. It's still one. And the other big selling point is that warranty. Mitsubishi has one of the leading warranties in the whole, not just the segment, but the whole market. Now, the downside to that is Mitsubishi really doesn't sell very many vehicles. They only really have one right now in the US, but we will see a couple of more over the next few years. But those are the big 3 selling points. That price, that those good looks and that big warranty. And I've always recommended the Outlander to people who are looking in this size of vehicle, looking around this segment, and some people who are looking at larger because they want a third row, but they don't actually need that larger vehicle. This is a great setup, and there aren't a whole lot of these left in terms of this size with 3 rows. So very, very well done. I applaud Mitsubishi for continuing with this vehicle. I'm really hoping they're gaining dealerships, so I'm really hoping to see that their foothold gets much bigger and they make their comeback. So there you go. That's the 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander. Overall, I really like it, but there will be some people that won't like it for various reasons, but that's true of every vehicle, right? But in this segment, it's one of the few options you can get that, again, has a third row, has a big warranty, and has a low price tag. So there you go. That's my take on the Outlander. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.